Hello and welcome to today's video. Today, this, but not this. So this is a Bic Crystal ballpoint pen. Bic have been making these for years. It is the most sold pen in history. In fact, it is said that about 60 of these pens are sold per second worldwide. That's a lot of pens. So, what is it about the Bic ballpoint? Well, it is kind of reliable and it is worldwide. So, you can get it anywhere and you know what you're going to get. So, why not make this more? Why not take this to the next level? One company has, and that company is Ensso. Ensso is an American-based pen manufacturing company, and they came out with a thing called the Aria. And now this is the box that sort of comes in, and inside that, it comes in a cool glass tube and all of that kind of stuff, but that's not what we're here for. Ensso created the Aria, and this is the Aria. There are two versions of this available. There is a black anodized aluminium version, and this version, which is the brass. Now, this pen has a similar kind of profile and size to the Bic Crystal. It's, you can see where they're going. And what they've done is they've made this basically a luxury body for the Bic Crystal ballpoint. Now, what they've done is both hilarious and kind of awesome, because it's a simple pen that takes the Bic Crystal refill to the next level. So let's talk about this, and then we'll do I'll do a very quick writing sample. We all know how the Bic Crystal writes, and we'll talk about some pros and cons. Okay, top of the pen, simple cap profile similar to the Bic Crystal. A sort of a very fine cone, swells out, edge of the cap there, body sort of blows out just ever so slightly, blossoms out there, and then tapers down to these threads on the end, which is where you post it, and then the branding on the pen is there, written Ensso. Very, very simple. Ensso do minimalist stuff. This is brass, but there's a slight texture to it, which stops it from being quite so slippery, and gives you a good grip of this pen. It is brass, so it will patina. You unscrew the cap in just over 2 complete turns of the pen, and those threads are there right behind the ballpoint refill there, and then the refill goes in the end there, and this is just the simple black one, and it comes out. It's not the easiest thing to get out, but that's okay. It comes out and goes back in, and that's how you refill it. It's great. There's a little hole there in the end there to give good airflow, all of that. It's a really simple, elegant pen. I just want to do a couple of basic size comparisons because I think it's worth doing just so we know what you're getting. So let's do that. So I've put it alongside 2 pens here. Firstly, the Bic Crystal and then the Lamy Safari. Now, obviously these are ballpoint pens and this is a fountain pen, but this is a fountain pen channel, primarily, I suppose. So a lot of us are fountain pen users, and we can just see sort of how it stacks up. So this is the capped length. Uncapped, the length remains similar to the original Bic Crystal. Of course, a lot of that is dictated by the length of the refill made by Bic. And then you can see it's longer there than the Lamy Safari. All of these pens post, and the Aria actually comes in shortest once it's posted. It's because it posts relatively deeply and screws into place, so it's a little shorter there than the Crystal, but it does have a bit more weight in the end there, of course. So what are the specifications of the Ensso Aria? Well, capped, it's 150 millimeters. Uncapped, it's 145 millimeters. So really solid length. Posted, it becomes 159. Not too long. You could easily write with this unposted, but posting it there screws it on and keeps it nice and secure. The section is listed as 10 millimeters, and I have to assume that's sort of back here where it gets to its widest. And that is probably a little further back than most people would hold this. So it does narrow down, of course, similar to like a lot of ballpoint pens. But where this pen kind of comes into its own is in the weight. It weighs 67 grams. It's actually heavier than a lot of the fountain pens I have in my collection, even some of the metal ones. 58 grams is in the body of the pen and 9 is in the cap. So the weight doesn't go out of balance when you put the post on the end there. But for comparison's sake, just, you know, for ridiculousness, the Bic Crystal weighs 6 grams. So the whole Bic Crystal weighs less than the cap of the Aria. The issue I have with the weight of this is that it is back heavy. There's a lot of weight back here. I would prefer, and you know, it does feel secure in your hand and all of that. My personal preference for pen weight is more weight down into the fingers. It just means you actually get less fatigue writing with it because you're having to move everything just a little bit less. It just sort of sits more comfortably, you know, where the pen is making contact. For the sake of the exercise, let's do a quick writing sample. We have the Ensso Aria, and that's the Bic ballpoint refill. This is black. So Bic, you know what you're going to get. It's going to write reliably. It's an oil-based ink, which is like a lot of ballpoint pens. So, you know, like, it doesn't smudge a whole lot and all of that kind of thing. And there are better ballpoint pens, but you know, you can buy these at your local supermarket. You can buy them anywhere. Like the Bic ballpoint refill, particularly like the Bic Crystal and all that kind of stuff, super, super common. So you know what you're going to get. It'll write, you could have one of these sitting around in your handbag for years probably and pick it up and write with it and it'll work. Like this one here is one that I've had for years. I don't use it, like, as a matter of course. And like it writes perfectly without even a second of hesitation. So what are the pros and cons of a pen like this? Well, let's talk about the cons. Okay, couple of things. One little aesthetic thing, firstly, is that if you can see here, it's picking up a lot of like scratches and wear on the brass. Now I could polish that up and clean it and it would look quite nice, but it's like little scratches from the cap and from like posting it and on that texture and all those kinds of things. It's not going to be a perfect specimen of a pen, and it will patina, but the patina I love that. But you know, it's going to be a working pen. Another con of this is the weight. If you're carrying this as a EDC item, it's a heavy pen. It's not a small pen. It is heavy and big, so it's going to take up some real estate for you. So just something to be aware of. Now, right here, let's talk about the price. This brass version, when I purchased it, was $39 US. It is at the moment, it is sold out, but I have no doubt it'll come back. The aluminium version is still, as I make this video, still for sale at $39 US, which I don't think is a terrible price. You are buying the body of the pen more than the actual way the pen writes. So you are buying something to carry that's strong, that's robust, all of that kind of thing. Yes, a Bic Crystal will cost you 40 cents Australian. You can buy a pack of 50 of them for $18. Like, super cheap. And in a way, it gives you a lot of refills. Issue with that is, can you buy the refill separately, or do you have to buy the entire pen and then do you have waste? Something to think about. But at $39 US, I don't think this is a bad deal. You're getting something that's well made. You're getting something that's had some thought put into it. And that is both, as I said, kind of hilarious, but also kind of awesome. Hilarious from the perspective that it's the Bic Crystal, like the pen we all make fun of in a lot of ways. But it is super reliable, and they've taken something that is that super reliable, you know, ballpoint pen and made it something more of it. I should say about the weight, as I said, this one weighs 67 grams, but the aluminium version only weighs 24 grams. So that is going to be much better if you do want to carry it. Other, you know, big strengths of this is the fact that it's super durable. Nothing is going to damage this. Nothing is going to get to that ball. Nothing is going to ruin this pen. You could drive over this thing and you just might scratch up the material a bit, but it would have no problem whatsoever. The other thing, of course, is the refill, the fact that it is reliable. It may not be the best writer, but they are pretty reliable, and they are incredibly affordable, and they are available worldwide. So you're never going to be able to not get a refill for this pen if this is what you decide to have as your everyday carry pen. Now, in my pencil case, I carry one of those big 4-color click pens, because when I need a ballpoint pen, it's always there, it always writes, and it gives me a couple of options if I need to rule margins or do headlines or whatever the case may be. It's always there, reliable, will always write. Bic know what they're doing in this realm. And so for Ensso to take that really well-known, super usable ballpoint pen refill, yes, it's not everyone's favorite. I know this. And yes, people do like to slam the Bic Crystal, but it is the world's most popular, most sold ballpoint pen for a reason. Okay? It's always there. So for Ensso to create this, they have taken something that a lot of people use and are just taking it to that next level. And I really appreciate that. And I think it's, as I said, both funny and awesome. So this was the this was the Ensso Aria ballpoint pen, brass body for the Bic Crystal ballpoint pen. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to get in touch using any of the platforms listed below. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at @the_offstage_me, or you can contact me on any of my videos here or drop me an email, which is listed down below. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you'd like to support the channel by sponsoring a review or providing an item for review, I would love to hear from you. Now, as I said, I purchased this pen myself, but I do want to thank Ensso for their support of the channel over the last few years. They have provided a number of items, and I look forward to a continuing collaboration with them. In the meantime, enjoy your pens. Enjoy writing whatever you decide to write with and whatever you can write with at the time. And I'll talk to you soon.